Good evening, everyone. I know that Facebook takes a minute to get the word out that I've gone live. So I'm going to hold on just a minute and then we'll go ahead and get started. I'll wait until I see that somebody's here because I have recorded videos before and they didn't actually record. So I'm never sure. Oh, good. Okay. I see someone's watching. Okay. Good. Well, if you are here, if you have an oil already, if you already have Young Living oils, go ahead and grab one. If you need to leave the room and go grab one, you won't miss anything important. But if you have some oils nearby, go ahead and grab one and put it on, whatever it is. I'm going to put on Sacred Mountain. Just grab an oil and throw it on. It's good for you. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Here in Indiana, it was absolutely beautiful today. I intended to go running 3 miles in Brown County and it turned into like 5. I don't know what happened. I'm super sore. Valor. Yes, put Valor on in celebration. Valor is back. I need to apologize. I know my lighting is not great tonight, so please forgive me. Yeah, let me know what you're putting on. Put on an oil and tell us what you're putting on. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I wrote myself some notes because I'm really bad and distractible when I do this. In fact, I just realized I don't even have my product guide here. Oh my goodness. Okay. So first of all, if you missed it, if you're here and you have some oils, go put one on. It's good for you. You need them. So go grab an oil, put it on, and let us know what you put on. RC, great. So if you don't know me, my name is Heidi Stone, and my husband and I are silver leaders with Young Living, and we have been a part of Young Living for about 4.5 years, but really only actively pursuing this type of thing where I share my story with other people for about 3 years. So I love Facebook Live. It has totally been great for me because it gives me an avenue without having to leave the house. And the reason that's helpful is because we have 6 children and we homeschool, and so it's sometimes challenging for me to get out and teach classes all the time. But if I can do them from the comfort of my home, it's super easy to share. So, okay, so you put your oils on. I told you my name. Let's see. Oh yes, please comment below if I didn't invite you to this, if somebody else invited you to this class, will you tag them below so that they know you're here and watching it? And if I invited you, just say hi. But tag the person that invited you if it wasn't me, because we want to make sure that they know you're here. So I want to start by saying that when I do a class like this, my goal is just to give you information. I hope you know that it's fun. But when I first bought my oils, I felt like they were so complicated and I was afraid to use them. I was pregnant at the time with my 6th baby, and I wasn't sure what I could use or what I couldn't use because I kind of thought of the oils like medication. And so I was always afraid to use them. So we used them very sparingly, which looking back, man, I wish I could go back and redo that pregnancy with my oils because I was very, very sick with all of my pregnancies. And then just on top of that, the regular pregnancy stuff, you know, you got muscle pains and your ligaments hurt and you're tired all the time. And gosh, if I could go back, I don't intend to have any more pregnancies, but if I do, I am so excited to see what it looks like with Young Living. But I just felt like my oils were really complicated and they were just scary to me. And so I didn't use them very much for about 8 months. And then I kind of started to do my own research. And the more that I researched, I realized they're not really that scary. They're not really that complicated. But it took me that long to figure it out. And I don't want people to take 8 months to figure that out because you're missing out on 8 months of your life. And what if you're like me and in 8 months you go, man, I wish I could redo those 8 months. So that's the purpose of this class, to show you that the oils are not scary and they're not complicated. We just use them and they're great. So I'm going to pop around the corner 1 second and see if I have a product guide here because that's usually what I teach out of just for the sake of simplicity. So, okay, I see some more people joining. So real quickly while I do that, if you have Young Living oils, go ahead and grab one and put it on and let us know what you put on. And if somebody else invited you to this class, tag them below so they know that you're here. Okay, give me 1 second. Give me 1 more second. Oh, you guys. Look, you're all still here. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Actually, all of my product guides like up and disappeared. I taught a class yesterday without one because I don't know where they went. They walked off. So we're going to use something else. I'm just going to be showing or teaching a little bit out of this book. It's called Above the Wellness Line. And that really is what Young Living is about. It's about living above the wellness line. And if you need a description of what that is, here's kind of how we envision it. If you can kind of draw a line and think to yourself, this line is where you're in good health. Everything's functioning well. You don't have any problems, no diseases to speak of. You're just at good health. What Young Living is for keeping you at that good health line or boosting you up even above the wellness line. And that's why we have that book called Above the Wellness Line. And so that's what we want to focus on with Young Living. That's what we talk about. If you have concerns or questions about a disease or anything else, that's not really something we can discuss in a class like this, but there are lots of resources available for you to go searching. And since obviously you have the internet because you're here on Facebook watching this, you have a huge advantage. So please do your own research on that. But today we're going to talk about being at that line of wellness or above it, because that's where we want to live. Because when we live below that line, we just feel yucky. So I'm just going to kind of fly through this a little bit, but I want to tell you a little bit about my story first. So I told you already that I was afraid of my oils when I first got them. And looking back, I wish I had more clarity about that, or at least done my research. But when we first purchased our Young Living starter kit, I was already really we were going down that natural path. And so we were using some natural-ish products. I was buying my supplements at the health food store instead of the grocery store. That seemed better to me at the time. We were buying certain soaps and toothpaste, and I was familiar with reading ingredients and things like that. So we were kind of already on that journey. But Young Living really created an interesting niche for us because once I realized that all those things that we were buying on Amazon and at the health food store and other places, that I could actually purchase them through Young Living, that became so much easier because, like I said, I have 6 children. I don't like to go to the store. I don't like to go out of the house and try to shop with my kids. So if any of you have kids, you already know what I'm talking about, okay? So if Young Living is going to have those products available to me and ship them to my house, I'm on board. So I didn't know, though, at first that there was anything besides essential oils. And since I thought the oils were scary and complicated, I just didn't really look into it. Once I started looking into it, I realized, oh my goodness, they have all these other products and we can buy them from them. So we started kind of looking at what they had, and we started doing what now we call transfer buying. So instead of buying our hand soap and our shampoo on Amazon, we transferred it to Young Living. So we weren't really out any money. We were just transferring what we were buying from somewhere else to Young Living. In some cases, like in the case of our supplements, we actually were saving money by transferring to Young Living and buying it there. And I felt like I was getting a superior product. I was seeing more results. So anyway, that's kind of our backstory. Still at that point, as we were starting to use some of those other products outside the oils, I was like, I don't want anything to do with that whole business thing. I can't do it. We homeschool. I don't have time. And I just had no idea how easy it was to share. And that was even before we had Facebook Live. This was 3 years ago. It's just so easy to share. And it's kind of like, we share our favorite restaurants and we share our chiropractor or our pediatrician or whatever. We share those things with our friends because we like their service. And so when we share Young Living, we just share because we like the products. And it's super easy, and it's not any different than any other kind of referral, except usually you don't get paid for those other referrals. So anyway, once I realized that, we kind of just launched into this whole income thing. So it's been really fun. But if you're here and you're you're wondering, like, what's the deal with Young Living, or what do I do with these oils I just bought, or is it worth it to buy the oils? Those are the kinds of questions that I want to try to answer for you here in the next 20 minutes or so. So first of all, when when my friend first contacted me and she said, we just started using these oils, I thought maybe it'd be something you would like. I said, okay, I'll look into it. And then all the research happened because I'm like a mega researcher. I probably research things to my detriment. It's ridiculous. But I wanted to make sure that if we were going to purchase something for our family, we were going to purchase the best that we could afford, like we do with our food. So like we're very meticulous about what meat we eat, and we buy it from a local farmer. We buy our eggs from a friend because we know how the chickens are treated and what they're being fed and things like that. And I wanted the same standard for my oils if that was something I could find. And the only place that I found that was with Young Living, because they own so many of their own farms. And so really that was a very convincing thing for me. I felt like that was the best company I could find. And so anyway, I came back to my friend and I said, yeah, we'll try it. What do I try first? And she said, well, most people start with this kit. It's called the Premium Starter Kit, and it comes with 9 oils, and they're very versatile, so it'll give you a good launching point. So I said, okay. And then I already told you that story. I bought the oils, hardly used them for a long time. But anyway, so oftentimes at a class like this, we actually talk about the Premium Starter Kit oils, which is now 11 oils and a diffuser. Same price as what I paid, just for the record. But I'm actually not going to talk specifically about the oils too much tonight because I just want to give you an overview. Because talking specifically about each oil is complicated and it makes it scary. And when I teach it in a class in person, I get this response. Like I can literally see people's eyes glazing over at all the information. And so I just stopped teaching it like that because here's the thing about oils. The way that the oils work with our bodies is they just create an avenue for our body to do what it's designed to do, but might be impacted by things like environmental toxins and stress and other things like that. And so scientifically speaking, when we use the oils, they do things like clean out our cells, they pull the toxins from our cells and help us flush them out of our bodies. So they don't do manipulative things, they're not like drugs. Essential oils are not drugs. They don't work like medication. They just work in a way that your body is already designed to be working and help it function the way it should. And so I like for people to know that because in a sense, it doesn't really matter what oil you use. You just use the oils. They're just a part of our daily life. We use oils all day long in our home. I do. My children do as well. There's not any, we have certain oils that are, designed to support certain systems of the body, like your emotions or your immune system or your respiratory system or things like that. But in general, sometimes people say, how do I know the oils are working? Well, the answer is if you're using them, they're working. You might not see it right away or you might not know what to look for, but scientifically, when you put them on or when you inhale them or when you ingest them, they do things in your body. So if you're using the oils, they're working. So that's what you need to know. But anyway, so back to what I was saying. So we chose Young Living because I felt like it was the best company that we could find. And the way that Young Living portrays their commitment to the purity of their oils and for them to be the best is something called our Seed to Seal promise. And essentially just what that means is that we own a lot of our farms and we partner very closely with the farms we don't own, and we hold them to the same standards. So they are regularly being visited by our corporate leaders. And so we hand choose those seeds that are going to go into the ground. And actually even before that, our founder, Gary Young, is so particular. He did all kinds of crazy testing on the actual soil that we're planting in, because good soil makes good plants. And good plants make good oils. So it starts even from the soil, even before the seed goes in the soil. But once it does, we're very careful with the soil. All of our soils receive things like enzymes, and they have oils used during the cultivation process. We never spray any of our products with pesticides or any kind of synthetic chemicals. Everything is naturally based. If you are wondering if our oils are organic, the answer officially is no. Our oils are so far beyond the organic requirements here in the US, and we have farms across the globe. because we try to grow things indigenously as best we can because that's where the plants grow best. And so there's just not a way to regulate it really. And so the answer really is no, they're not organic. They're way better than organic. So, but anyway, from that point, from the seed through the cultivation, through the distillation, and all the way to the sealing in the bottle, we control that whole process, and we're very careful with that and very meticulous. So that was really important to me, and that was one of the reasons that I chose Young Living. At the time, I had no concept of, I had no idea I would ever be at a farm. You can actually go and visit our farms across the globe, and I've been to one of our farms twice, and just being able to watch the distillation, and you see the distilleries upstairs, and you go downstairs and you can see the essential oil and it's separated from the water. It's just incredible. It's so neat to see because it's just a massive operation. But anyway, just that kind of a process was so impressive to me. So again, that was one of the reasons we chose Young Living, even though I had no idea at the time what all that would encompass. But if you're wondering just even what oils are, basically they come from different parts of plants. So we have about 200 different essential oils and essential oil blends at Young Living. And all of our blends are put together in a lab by scientists. They're not randomly thrown together. Like if you've ever been on Pinterest, you've seen all the DIY blends. That's not what's going on. So I definitely recommend that you buy Young Living blends if you're going to blend them. It's not bad to do it, but they're probably not going to give you the same amount of benefit as the ones that are designed by scientists. But basically they come from different parts of plants. So it might be the roots, it might be the flower petals, it might be the stems. It varies by plant where the best oil is going to be found. And so Young Living only distills the best part of the plant. So there are some companies out there that will actually take the entire plant and distill the whole thing, which is okay, but you're not going to get the same caliber of oil because you're getting kind of the lesser oil with the better oil. And so another reason that I love that we do this is not only that we're getting a great quality oil, but also it's more sustainable because we're not taking the entire plant. So, for example, there are some people who wildcraft. If you may have seen the term wildcrafted essential oils. And oftentimes the wildcrafters will go out to the fields and they'll just like hack off the entire plant and they distill the whole thing because it gives them more oil. But the quality of the oil is not the same. Whereas Young Living will go and they'll take off the part of the plant that we need, and then that plant is allowed to continue growing. So it's much more sustainable as well. So I just love that. But the oils they come from the plants. They're steam distilled, primarily steam distilled. Our citrus oils are cold pressed, but the vast majority of our oils are steam distilled. And during that distillation process, the allergen proteins are actually removed through that steam distillation. So if you're concerned about having an allergy to an oil, there's actually no allergy proteins left in the essential oils. Like I used to have significant seasonal allergies. I don't have a lot of trouble with that anymore, but when I got my oils initially, I thought, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do some of those because I know I'm allergic to lavender, but I don't have any problem with the lavender oil because there's no allergy protein in it. So just so you know, they're not the same, and just because you can't handle the plants doesn't mean you won't be able to handle the oil because it's a different product. So, okay, let me reference this book because I'm really good at just kind of rambling. Okay, so there's 3 basic ways that we use the oils, and I'm just going to pull some oils from the starter kit kind of randomly. If you have a starter kit already and you've got it with you, you can go ahead and do this with me if you'd like. But basically there's 3 ways that we use the oil. So the first way we use it is topically, and a lot of people are familiar with this type of usage because this is probably the one that I see the most often across the internet, social media, Pinterest, stuff like that. So if you've got your starter kit, go ahead and grab it. I'm going to take the frankincense because frankincense is one of my favorite oils. Frankincense is super gentle too, so it's an oil that we use on our kids without any concerns at all. It's also really, really good for your skin. So I actually use frankincense on my face after every wash. So if you have frankincense, or another oil, you can go ahead and put it on topically. I'm going to put it on my face because, like I said, it's so good for your skin. But if you have an oil, go ahead and put it on. So topically is a very common way to use oils. Oftentimes with essential oils, especially if you're just starting out, you may want to dilute them with a carrier oil. So a carrier oil is something like olive or coconut or jojoba, avocado, any kind of fatty oil you could dilute with. Um, and that does a couple things. It can help alleviate any discomfort if it's a hotter oil. So some of our oils might create some discomfort on their own just because they're very concentrated. So like some of our hotter oils would be like thieves, peppermint, wintergreen, lemongrass. Some of those can be hot when you put them on your skin. We say hot. It just means it might create some discomfort if you don't use a carrier oil with it. So you can go ahead and do that if you'd like. Another thing that it does is it helps spread the oil to a larger area. So you don't have to use as much of your essential oil. If you've got a carrier, it'll help spread it. So, okay, so that's topical use. The second way that we can use our oils is aromatically, and it just occurred to me. Do you guys see that diffuser sitting right there? And do you see the lid sitting right next to it? Yeah, I didn't turn it on. So our premium starter kits come with a diffuser, but you can buy a diffuser anywhere. I love the Young Living diffusers. I feel like they last a long time and they have a 1-year warranty, but you can get a diffuser on Amazon even. And that one right there is not a Young Living diffuser even. But obviously it's not doing anything because I didn't turn it on. But aromatically is a wonderful way to use your oils, and I love that there's a free diffuser in the starter kit because aromatic usage is actually the very best way to get the oils inside your body, especially into your lungs because obviously you're breathing them in, and especially into your brain because when you inhale an oil, it goes directly into your olfactory system and straight to your limbic system. And your limbic system is where we store things like emotions and memories. We make decisions there. And so when I first got my oils, I heard people talk about using the oils for emotional things. And I was like, that is new age garbage. Honestly, that's exactly what I thought. I thought it was new age, foo-foo. I was not going to get into that. But lo and behold, that is actually the main way that I use oils for myself now, is for emotional assistance. I mean, if you guys are parents, you already know that parenting is crazy hard. And so I just love my oils for that reason. It is so helpful for me to have those oils in my home. And oftentimes when I use those oils, if I'm going to inhale them, like we run a diffuser almost all the time. Diffusers are great for just helping to purify the air. Obviously, they make your home smell great, and they don't have toxic ingredients like candles and air fresheners and things like that. But really, they do so many other things for the air. But if you don't have a diffuser, you can even just use an oil, and you can open the bottle and just smell it and use it that way, and you don't even have to use the oil to get the benefits, which is like the coolest thing, because what other product can you reap benefits from without actually using it? I don't know. I can't think of one, but if there is one, let me know. You can just open a bottle and smell it, or you can do something that, this is my favorite way to use them actually for my emotions. You can take a drop. I'm just putting some lavender on my hand. I've had a lot of classes lately. I'm running out of my oils. You can take a drop, rub it together in your hands, and then you can do something that we call tenting, which is where you put your hands over kind of your nose and mouth, and you just breathe in deeply. So I oftentimes do this right next to prayer because the combination of those oils, me breathing those oils in, them going straight to my limbic system, which is where my emotions are stored, the combination of doing that and just setting aside 20 or 30 seconds to pray is so helpful. So if you've got an oil and you want to do that, I'm going to just breathe this in for a second. Honestly, it's one of the best things that I can do for myself with my oils. It's amazing. So that's a way to use them aromatically. And then the third way that we use them is to ingest them. So Young Living actually has a line of oils specifically labeled for ingestion, and they're called the Vitality line. So I'm going to show you what they look like real quickly, just so you can see the difference if you're not familiar with the oils. Okay, so you see these oils at the bottom. These are all colored, right? And then the ones at the top are white, and they have colored labels. if you could see really closely, you would see that the ones at the top have the name of the oil, and then underneath it says Vitality. Okay, so so the Vitality line is designed specifically for ingestion, which means the FDA says it's safe for you to ingest. So the FDA has no ruling over what we put in our bottles, but they do have ruling over how we label them and how we talk about them. So it's kind of a silly thing. But anyway, so using the oils internally you can do in multiple ways. You can put them into an empty capsule. Like you can buy just empty clear capsules. They come apart. You can put the oils in there. Usually people add a carrier oil just because it seems to help with the burping. Sometimes you can burp the oils up otherwise. You can put them in a capsule, or you can even buy, Young Living carries a whole line of supplements, and all of our supplements are infused with essential oils. And the cool part about that is that the oils actually act as a catalyst for the rest of the ingredients. So it's like you've got your regular supplement, and then when you add the oils, it goes boom. I just love it. And I can say from experience, they do seem to be better than the supplements that I used to buy at the store. So, so those are a couple ways you can use it. Another way, honestly, is to put it in your water or your tea, or just, I'll show you how I use it. This is how we do it in my classes, okay? So I'm grabbing Peppermint Vitality. Now, if you've got Peppermint Vitality and you want to do this, go for it. It's very strong, but it'll clear you right up. So this is what we do in classes. I pass this around and I say, if you're brave and you want to do it, you can put a drop on your hand and stick your tongue in the drop and stick your tongue up on the roof of your mouth. If you have this, you really need to try it. It's amazing. I'm going to do it right now. I mean, it's kind of strong, but I love it. Okay, I even got 2 drops, so. Are you guys doing this with me? I hope you are. I hope some of you are doing this with me. Okay, and my nose is officially completely clear. It's also a great breath freshener. So I actually just make myself a little spray bottle. It's just distilled water and peppermint Vitality, and I use it as a breath freshener. So if you've got some left on your hands, go ahead and just rub it in. You can rub it on your neck, whatever you want. It's not going to hurt you. You're doing it with me. Good. Oh my goodness. I have the freshest breath on the block for sure right now. So, okay, so those are the ways that we use our oils. And again, it really doesn't matter which oils you're using so much. It just matters that you're using them, because they just work when you use them, and they really don't work at all when you don't use them. I know that's a shocker. I know, but that's just the reality. And so, the reason that a lot of people start with this particular kit is because it's so incredibly versatile. I know there are some companies out there that are like, choose your own oils and throw them in a kit and we'll send them to you, and that's all well and good. But the reason that our kit is pre-chosen is because these are the best of the best. These are the oils that Young Living knows are going to change your life the most dramatically from the very start. They're easy to use. They're extremely versatile. Several of them are really gentle for your children. It's just such a good collection. And my favorite part is that there's a couple oils in here that are really costly on their own. And like, I don't think I would have gone out of my way to purchase them if they hadn't been in the kit. I don't think I would have gone to the website and ordered them just to try them, because they're just really expensive. So I love that they're in the kit. And so if you're wondering what those 2 precious oils are in the kit, those are frankincense and Panaway. And Panaway has an oil in it called Helichrysum, and it by itself is like $85 a bottle. So it's an amazing oil. But anyway, I love that those are in there. And so it's very versatile. So in the starter kit, you've got oils that'll support your digestive system, your respiratory system, your immune system, your musculoskeletal system. Someone help me with that. Your skin system, which is a big long word like integumentary or something, whatever. It doesn't really matter. The point is, the kit has oils for every part of your body to live at or above that wellness line. And that's where we all want to live, because we want to feel good. And I think that God wants us to feel good. So anyway, we just love our oils. I realize that it's 9 o'clock now, so I'll try to wrap up. And there's one thing that I didn't even mention, but I have to tell you, because it's so significant for us, is that sometimes people look at the oils and they say, oh, I love those. They look amazing. I just can't afford them. And I have to tell you a couple things. First, I have a very good friend, and when she and her husband were introduced to Young Living, they really wanted the products, and they couldn't afford them. They honestly could not afford them. They were missing meals to feed their children peanut butter and jelly for weeks on end. And the beautiful thing about Young Living is that when you buy your oils from Young Living, you also have an option of sharing with your friends. And it doesn't have to be a formal video like this one where you ramble on and can't find your product guide and look like a total mess, okay? You can just share with your friends like the same way that you talk about your favorite pediatrician or the restaurant you just went to. And when you do that, Young Living pays you. They pay you just for your friends using your referral code. It's amazing. And being able to do that has been amazing for our family because honestly we couldn't afford all the products that we're using from Young Living either, not without that paycheck. So you won't get that from the grocery store when you buy your oils there. You also won't get great oils because maybe you didn't know this, but the FDA and the EPA, they don't have any regulations on oils. So when you go to the store and it says 100% pure lavender, it could literally be 0% lavender. So it's really important that you know where your oils are coming from. And in my opinion, it's really important that you buy them from a company that allows you to receive a paycheck when you refer somebody. I just think that's amazing. So that's not what this video is about, but you need to know that's an option, and it's an option for a lot of people. And my friend that I mentioned, she and her husband work their Young Living business full-time now together, and they do it as a family, and their story's incredible. So anyway, I just need you to know that's an option as well. But so we've got this starter kit, and we talked just about the oils and how you just use them and you will feel better. Honestly, use the oils, feel better. That's going to be like my new motto. Use your oils to feel better. We just use them. It doesn't even really matter how you use them or where you put them because they're going to get into your bloodstream and go through your whole body, and it's fine. Just use them. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. It's 9:02, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. But before I go, I want you to know that if I invited you to this class, I might have something special for you. So shoot me a message if I invited you. If somebody else invited you to this class, give them a call or shoot them a message and ask about what your options are. I mentioned the premium starter kit, but you don't have to get a premium starter kit. You can buy an oil or two as a retail customer. It costs a little bit more without the starter kit discount, but you can do that. That's an option. We also have a smaller kit that will get you started, and it gets you 24% off anything else you buy. So that's a great option too for some people. So don't just look at the price tag and say, oh, I can't do that. They sound great, but I can't do it. There are ways to do it. I mean, I know people who have sold stuff to buy their kit. Like, if you understand the value of this collection, I mean, I just want to encourage you to find a way to make it happen, because the oils are so life-changing, honestly. So get with the person who invited you to this class and ask them how they can help you get started, because I know you will love your oils. I know it. If you are local to Central Indiana, I'm going to hop off this video, but go ahead and leave a comment below because we've got a couple of events coming up this week, and I would love to have you there. So leave a comment below if you're in Indiana, just let me know, and I'll get you some information on that. But I'm going to jump off. It's 9:04, so I hope this was really helpful for you. I hope you feel like the oils are simple and not complicated, unlike how I felt at the beginning, but just use them. They work when you use them. They don't work when you don't use them. So just use your oils. Okay, well, have a great night, you all. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been fun.